Hey guys, Nick Ringus here. I hope you're having a good week. Today I want to talk about an exercise that I did with regards to sales and marketing and something I learned from Todd Brown, the direct marketer. He has courses out there on just marketing, on his method. And what he said was that marketing is all about what the prospect gets versus what he has to do to get it. And I thought this was illuminating because when you start to put down on one side what the prospect gets versus what he has to do to get it and everything that he's risking to get it, you start to see very clearly if you're asking too much of the prospect, if there's too much of a gap to buy your product or service. The goal here is to increase what he gets, the value of what he gets, or the perceived value of what he gets to be way more than what he has to do or what he has to pay or give to get it. I'll go over the value equation at the end, but just to start with, this is what I have down for our prospects at the agency. We're doing digital marketing at the agency that we offer that as a service. So I wrote down what he gets, 4 sites, 4 different types of websites, high quality links, content, Google business profile optimization, help with the reviews, one-on-one with Kellen, design, development, maintenance, tracking, conversion rate optimization, on-page optimization, on-demand press releases, site monitoring. The one who brings in the business is the hero in the office. So these are starting to get into like promises, not quite what he gets directly after paying us, but promises that we're making to him. Analysis of the competition, higher rankings, more money, phones ringing, less hassle, peace of mind, sleep better, fun, winning. He gets valuable assets and sites and profiles that we built for him. He owns everything. Error-free site, data, code optimization for speed and for SEO, photography, branded images, motivation, hope, respect, status in the office and in the marketplace, security, exclusivity, hosting, and then when ish hits the fan, we deal with it. So like malware, the site goes down, site gets hacked, we deal with it and he doesn't have to worry about it. On the other hand, so the goal again is to make this column so valuable and so heavy with stuff that he gets, with benefits that so much more so than what he has to do to get it. So what I wrote down for what he has to do to get it is money on a monthly basis, money up front, risk of, and there's a lot of risks that the prospect might be taking that you haven't considered until you do an exercise like this. Risk of losing money, failure, shame, losing face, going out of business, frustration, losing time, losing the domain. This is huge even if he doesn't realize it. Business going elsewhere, mistakes in his name. So like content, mistakes in the content, and they're in his name as if he wrote it. So you got to make sure that it's accurate and there's no mistakes there. You don't want to make him look bad. Hassle, inconvenience, pressure, actual price is greater than quoted price. Wife or family leaving. So this is a little bit of a dramatic here, but it could happen. Sadness, going backwards, stress, losing market share, competition growing stronger, and the gap widening. So those are all the risks that the prospect takes on when they're coming on and signing on with our agency. These I have them bolded because they're ones that I don't think we can ever get around. We can certainly make it easier for him, but he's going to have to get us credentials on a one-time basis, get reviews. That's an ongoing thing. Work with the staff to help us, dealing with or leaving his old company, making a decision, doing due diligence on new company, opportunity cost, such as other channels or services, other vendors, site developments once on staging. So I don't know why I wrote this one. To be honest, I don't think that belongs there, but maybe I'm wrong. Working to understand or study marketing or something new. That's always tough because they want to know what we're talking about and that we're not taking advantage of them. So there's a little bit of work to get to a level of understanding so that someone doesn't take advantage of you. Talking partners or others into it, and reviewing keywords, reviewing content, and review its site design. So this is a pretty extensive list. I'm sure there's other things that I missed. But now what I'm working on in our sales and marketing mini game, it's called Fishing for Clients, is improving our conversion rate from appointment and proposal to now signed clients. So that conversion rate, I want to improve that by coming up with an offer that's irresistible and superior to the rest of the marketplace. And the way that I'm going to do that, according to Todd Brown, and makes total sense to me, is by coming up with something that's way more valuable than what he's giving or paying to get it. And you want the prospect to think at the end of the day that I would be completely crazy not to accept this offer. And most people, they just have a hard offer, like, we're asking for X, we're asking for $5,000 a month to do all this stuff for you. It's called a hard offer because they're paying up front and then they're getting the service in return. And that's not a very attractive offer because it's just not. There's so many other offers out there, like a soft offer, pay nothing for 14 or 30 days, pay nothing until you're on page 1, pay nothing until you see results, money back guarantees. There's so many other offers out there that can take the risk and the effort and the time and sacrifice off of the prospect's plate and onto our plate as the agency or service provider. So my goal now is to go through this and to try to alleviate every risk here, everything that he's paying to get it. I know we can't get rid of all of them for sure, but we certainly can get rid of a lot of them based on the offer, the price, and the terms that we come up with. For example, a money back guarantee, like I said, would get rid of a lot of these risks of risk of losing money, risk of failure, risk of losing face. Some of the other ones you're not going to get rid of with one type of guarantee or offer. But if you combine them, there are ways that we can come up. There are offers we can come up with that will alleviate or mitigate some of this risk, get rid of some of the things that he has to do to get it in a normal hard offer. Up top, I've gone through this before. This is from the book $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. It's called The Value Equation. I think it's awesome to keep in front of you when you're doing working on your marketing and sales. Essentially, the value equation is a way to look at value objectively to see if what you're providing is valuable. And his value equation is value equals the dream outcome plus perceived likelihood of achievement over or divided by time delay plus cost, effort, or sacrifice. So our job is to increase the top line as much as possible, increase the dream outcome or increase the perceived likelihood of achievement, essentially showing proof that we can do what we're claiming or promising. So we want to increase as much as possible. But if you, just mathematically speaking, if you're increasing the top line, it's a linear improvement in your value. But by decreasing the bottom line, you're now making exponential improvements to the value equation by decreasing the time it takes to see results, or decreasing the cost, effort, or sacrifice. So essentially what they're paying or what they're giving or giving up, risking to get what you're offering. So if you can get this down to, let's say, as close as possible to 0 or 1, that would exponentially grow the value of this equation, just mathematically speaking, since we're dividing the top line by the bottom line. So that's just something that I think is a very powerful exercise, is to go through what he gets, your prospect, that is, what your ideal prospect, and what he has to do or give up to get it. And then thinking of ways to creatively mitigate the risk, get rid of what he has to do or minimize that, and to increase the value of what you're giving him so that he looks at it as if, wow, I'm getting all this stuff and I only have to give up this to get it. And it's a no-brainer. The best example that I've heard about this was, and I'm paraphrasing here, but Steve Wynn built a casino empire by putting out an offer that was so irresistible that many people, when they saw it, they just couldn't say no. There was things like he'd pay for airfare, he'd pay for travel to the hotel, he'd pay for the hotel. He'd give you cash in your pocket to gamble with. He'd give you credit in the stores in the hotel. So he gave you all this stuff and for very little money. And on the cover, on the surface, it would look like, wow, I'm getting all this for $100. So it's just the value up front is so much more than the person was giving. However, the smart marketer and Steve Wynn knew that if he just got them to the property, on average, they would gamble way more than he was giving. So it was a math equation at the end where even though his competitors might have thought that he was crazy, he knew that if he could just get them to the casino, even if he had to pay a lot up front to get those customers through the door, they would spend more, they would lose more money at the tables and at the casino, in gambling than what he was giving them. So on the surface, it was a great deal for the consumer, for the visitor. But on the back end is where Steve Wynn made all his money and built the casino empire. And it's essentially what we're talking about here. He's making it so that what the person gets is so valuable compared to what he has to give that it becomes a no-brainer and something that the person would be absolutely crazy to say no to. So that's what I'm working on now in terms of our sales and marketing mini game, and getting more people that get proposals, more people that come on sales appointments with us to say yes and to sign on as clients is by stacking the value and getting rid of the sacrifice, the time delay, and just really expanding the value equation as much as possible in our favor. Well, in their favor, so that they think that what they're getting is way more than they're paying. So that's what I've been working on today. I thought that was a really good exercise, one that I hope you'll try out for yourself if you're working on getting clients to your business. All right, and just remember, as always, people support what they help create. This has been Nick Kringus. Thanks again for watching.